Hello, welcome to the NSCRS Row Racing Etiquette video. In this video, we'll be going over some basic topics that can allow you to race cleaner and better. In this video, we're going to be going over some ways to better your skills at pacing, making your driving and racing overall better, and how to restart correctly. These should help you further your career.
Let's start off with basic pacing. Pacing is not hard to be done once practiced, but can be quite hard when you're first doing it, or if your name is Extinct Bonnie. As shown in this clip here, all cars are keeping an equal distance from each other from bumper to bumper and door to door. No car is hitting each other's bumpers or making any contact at all. This is considered good pacing. This can cause big issues if done incorrectly and could be drastic to how a race plays out if done wrong. Very big penalties can be given out if you cause issues under pacing. Try to recreate this the best you can. Staying even and in the line should be your top priority until you restart and go back under green flag conditions. Next, we are going to go over some things you should not do under pacing. Checking up during pacing is very useful for when you accidentally throttle too much, but try not to check up the entire field. In this clip, the 24 car checks up and the cars try and get around him. This causes a huge accident on the restart.
Another thing that should be covered is contact while pacing. This is the one thing you really do not want to do, as it can destroy the entire field. In this clip, the 49 car sends the 12 car and all hell is let loose. This will cause a penalty to whoever started the incident and is frowned upon by other drivers, as they just want to go green and not have to worry about having to sort the field back out.
Next, in this clip, for absolutely no reason, the 49 randomly pulls down onto the access road and comes back up on the field and wrecks himself. Do not do this. It can cause problems for the field and, again, is frowned upon. I've seen this done on things like the chicane at Daytona and a few other tracks with chicanes.
Finally, we're going to talk about ramming into the field under pacing, either for no reason or while trying to get laps back. When trying to get your laps back, try to avoid the field as best you can. Going high is usually your best chance when avoiding the field, but on some tracks you may want to go low. In this clip, the 14 car destroys the field coming in at full speed. This is another thing you do not want to do. As previously said, it can destroy the entire field and is frowned upon by other drivers. Next, we are going to be moving on to restarts. In previous races and seasons, people had tons of trouble restarting correctly. First, we're going to be showing the correct ways that you are supposed to restart, and then a few examples of wrong things to do when restarting. First off, this is considered a correct restart. There is almost no contact, other than the 20 car giving the 49 car an insane and risky push. Unfortunately, row racing does not perform the greatest and most realistic restarts in the world, so the field gets really spread out. This could be caused by server, input delay, or overall just slow reaction time to the restart. One thing you do not want to do when you restart is start accelerating before the leader accelerates and pass the cars beside you. This can penalize you for jumping the restart. Now we are going to be moving on to incorrect restarts.
First, we're going to go over bad restarts. When you restart, the thing you do not want to do is run into the guy in front of you. This would cause him to spin out if you hit him incorrectly. As seen in this footage, the 34 car hits the 14, and in my league's terms, toggles his spin physics. This causes him to be loose on corner entry, and he gets taken out. Pushing on the restart may be a very good thing for teammates to do, but it could cause you and your teammate to spin out, along with a bunch of other cars. Finally, we are going to talk about Kyle Busch restarting. This is something that will immediately give you a to-the-back penalty. It is also unfair to the drivers who were pacing with the field and just wanted to restart correctly. For our third and final topic, we're going to be talking about side-by-side racing, general tips, and racing etiquette. This is where a majority of this video will be put into use in races, and which you should pay attention to the most.
We are going to go over correct side-by-side racing first. In this clip, both cars are running their own line and trying not to deviate from it. This is how you should properly race side by side. Notice that the top car runs closer to the wall and exit than mid-corner. This allows the bottom car to slide up the track and get closer to him without fear of making contact and spinning.
Now we're going to go over the correct way to block. Blocking is something very hard to get consistently correct. In this video here, the 24 car puts a very sketchy block on the 14. This block seemed very last second, but it paid off. If you want to have a good block where you're guaranteed not to wreck, then you should block a bit earlier. But this block is considered good. Now we're going to go over the incorrect driving etiquette. This includes sending, bad blocks, and not running a good line.
In this clip, the car in the bottom lane arcs his car out wide and ends up taking out the top lane car. This is something that can make drivers angry with you, can get you penalized for rough driving if you do it too much, and can even get you kicked out of the series if you consistently do this during races. It also shows that you do not have enough skill to run a consistent line in the corners.
Now, we are going to move on to sending other drivers into a corner. Sending is when a car, either behind or beside another car, does not brake at all into a corner in order to get around them or wreck them. This is highly penalized due to the countless complaints I receive about it every race, and it can, yet again, get other drivers angry with you. Next, we are going to move on to the top car pushing the bottom car too far down and wrecking them. In a situation like this, if you're the top car, you must give the bottom lane the furthest down viable line. If the bottom lane is slow, don't squeeze them down to the bottom. This is bad etiquette. For example, if the middle lane is the furthest down viable line, you should run the top line.
Finally, we are going to go over bad blocking. As shown in this video, the 14 cuts down a block but mistimes it and spins himself out. This will usually lead to both cars spinning out. If the car getting a run on you even looks close to your quarter panel, don't go up, it's probably too late.
So, that's all this video had to offer. There may be a follow-up video soon to cover any missed topics that I would like to cover in the future. This is primarily the basics of road racing etiquette, and there's much more to be learned. If you have any questions, contact me. I'd be happy to help you with any questions you'd have about road racing etiquette. So, thank you for watching. I hope to see the new skills you learned be put to use on the track. Thank you.